You like hanging out, drinking beer at the bar, talking sports? Come on out and join us weekly. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, your podcast for just that. Hanging out, drinking some beer, talking sports.
He doesn't like it.
All right, another week of Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. I know you've been waiting all week. You know why? Because I see people commenting in the comment section like, we need more Guys at the Bar Talking Sports. That's why I hear it constantly. Because the show seems like it's blowing up, guys. I wanted to let y'all know that, okay? So
we might have to start making a multi, bi-weekly podcast.
We might need to start doing two. So the fans are going crazy over this thing. If you look at the ratings and reviews that we have, it's 5 stars constantly, and it's review after review. A lot of times they talk about G Boogie. I don't know what's going on, man.
Right. Exponential growth.
Everybody loves some G Boogie.
Yep, they're like G Boogie. Oh, Crazy Kev was even mentioned in one of the comments as well. It's insane. So this is Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, and what do? We talk sports at the bar, drinking beer. So we're gonna talk about what beer we're drinking first. All right, Crazy, what you drinking, bro?
So I've got the Steel Hands Coffee Lager, and it actually tastes like coffee.
Oh, your breath.
And it's making me a little crazy right now.
Your breath smells like coffee too.
Yeah, he sounds like he's crazy. Holy cow, look at him. His eyes are bugging out of his
gracious.
head. It's insane. Okay.
He's out of control.
So we got Chopper over here. I always get Chopper's name wrong.
Every time,
bad.
every week you get my name wrong, man.
All right.
Space
Chopper.
Dust it is what I'm drinking today.
He actually only ever drinks Space Dust, if you haven't noticed. He's not much for change. Like the Auburn Tigers, he doesn't change from that either. He only wants to talk about Auburn every week. And I'm like, dude, Auburn's not even playing anymore, you know?
We're not. We're done.
Yeah, so anyway. But they do have a bowl game. What bowl game are they playing in?
Outback Bowl.
Okay.
Against the Gophers.
The Gophers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minnesota.
All right, so maybe I'll let you talk about that later on the show then, okay?
Only if I'm lucky.
All right, this is Hanger, and I am drinking a little bit of the Blue Moon. I changed it up from Bud Light. So get this, guys. Last week, I don't know did you listen to the show last week? You weren't here, were you, Crazy?
I missed it.
Okay, so...
Oh, did you listen to it?
No.
Okay.
What? Crazy.
I know. I need to support.
Out of control.
Oh, my God.
Out of control.
All right, so I was going to the doctor the next day, okay, to get blood work done. So I was supposed to go on fasting that morning.
Hey, how'd that work out?
So I drank like 5 or 6 beers the night before while we were recording. That was last
8.
week. It might have been 8. So anyway, I go to the doctor at 9 in the morning. I do my blood work, and get this. He calls me up yesterday and is like, hey, dude, I need you to come back in. We need to do an ultrasound of your liver because your enzymes were really high. And I'm like, I drank like 8 beers tonight or 5 beers the night before.
8 or 5.
Or something like that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I never drink before I do blood work. But anyway, so now I have to go get... My wife's pissed at me, to be honest with you.
I think your liver might be failing.
My liver.
Well, it wasn't that. I saw the results. It wasn't that high. But anyway, so I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking, but I am drinking Blue Moon.
I'm not even sure how you're alive right now.
Apparently, we are guys at the bar talking enzymes.
Okay, so we're guys at the bar talking medical conditions. I was going to be guys at the bar talking politics, but that doesn't go.
Kidney stones?
Yeah. All right, so we got Snake over here. I don't know if you remember Snake. I think he was on episode 2.
I thought he was Snakes with an S.
Snakes with an S?
You guys
I
can't
don't
handle
know.
more than one.
Snake or Snakes?
Don't be pluralizing me. You can't handle one more than me.
Oh, you're just Snake?
All right, so
I'm
we're
just
just
Snake.
gonna stick with Snake. You gotta put the microphone really close to Snake because he doesn't talk
So
loud.
I'm drinking my favorite kind of beer, cold.
Cold beer.
Actually, it's my second
cold.
favorite kind of beer. My favorite kind of beer is free.
Free beer.
But,
Okay, free beer is good beer. Yeah, that's true.
So it's
Today we have my son here, and he's
doing
drinking
Bud Light.
the root variety.
root beer.
Okay, so Crazy's son is drinking root beer, and his name is we don't have a name for him yet. We're not using real names because we don't want anyone to know that we actually do this podcast. To be honest with you, but anyhow, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. Today we're gonna talk about some.
Boy.
We'll just call him Boy. That's right. He hasn't earned a biker name yet. That's the plan.
Hey, you have to be careful. He might have a motorcycle before you do.
Yeah. He probably will have a motorcycle before me. That's true.
That's so wrong. Hey,
Yeah.
it was G Boogie's birthday yesterday.
G Boogie.
Really?
So
He's in
Tomorrow's
the
my birthday.
He's in
No way.
because he had too many beers.
All these birthdays.
okay, so we got birthday after birthday going on around here. That's absolutely insane.
I wonder if G Boogie got a bike.
G Boogie did not get a bike, I guarantee it. So G Boogie might be making a cameo here today for all the fans that love G Boogie. He might actually show up tonight for the recording of this show.
Everybody loves G Boogie.
By the way, just so y'all know, we record at MJ's Bar and Grill, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And we are in Lake Carolina. So if y'all ever want to show up, that's fine. Our goal is to eventually get free beer here by doing the show here.
My favorite kind of beer.
We're gonna get Snake's favorite kind of beer at some point.
Space Dust?
If we keep on recording at this, doing all kinds of advertisements at the show. The bartender's staring at me like I'm an idiot right now, but that's cool. And as you can see, it is a hopping bar. As you can hear, it's a hopping bar. All right, so let's hop into some sports because that's what we're here to talk about, right? Sports. All right. Last week's games. We had LSU versus Georgia. Did anyone watch any football last weekend?
Total blowout.
Yeah, that was rough to watch, man. I was sitting there and I thought it might be a good game because you had Georgia, who actually has a decent defense,
Yeah,
right?
I
thought that they might stop Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I predicted Georgia to win. Obviously, I was wrong.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that.
So that was the biggest game of the week, I think, just because it was the one that was the most likely to not be a blowout, in my opinion. And it turned out to be a blowout.
Well, it had two of the teams in it that were already in the top four of the football rankings, so you knew one of them was going to possibly get knocked out based on that. So everybody at 5, 6, 7 was all wet in their mouth waiting to see if LSU could knock off Georgia and open up a slot. I think if Georgia would have won, I think LSU could have still held on to the 4th spot.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If a two-loss Georgia team's going to tumble, and that's going to open the door for Utah or
Yeah, everyone thought.
Or Baylor.
Yeah, everyone thought if Utah won, they should have a chance to get in the top 4, or if Baylor won, or if Oklahoma won, between those 3 teams. But it kind of played itself out, didn't it? Because what happened was Georgia lost, so then you didn't have to worry about Georgia even having any chance of getting in. I think I looked on Sunday, they said that Georgia had about a 25% chance of being in the top 4, and that was just before they were doing like the whole vote and stuff.
Yeah. You can't lose to South Carolina and make the top 4.
Yeah, and then Oklahoma had about a 65% chance of getting in, and obviously we know that Oklahoma got in.
Jalen Hurts, what a great story, right?
Jalen Hurts, man, isn't it crazy that he left Alabama? Alabama isn't even a contender in the top 4 now.
Oh, they're not?
No, they're dropped out.
Oh yeah, who beat Alabama to knock them out of the top 4?
Oh, hold on. Let's
Chrissy.
think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it LSU?
No, I think it was Florida, right?
No.
Was the other 18 in Alabama?
Might have been those Auburn Tigers.
You're just biased, bro.
I am totally biased.
All right, so let's talk Ohio, Wisconsin. Did anyone think that Ohio was gonna lose or what?
Well, after the first half, I thought Ohio State was going to lose.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that because they were losing at halftime?
Pretty much. I am Nostradamus reincarnated. I was predicting that when Ohio State was down big after the first half, they were going to.
You had no faith in the comeback then, right?
You know what? I took Wisconsin plus 16.5, so I didn't really care if they won or lost. I just wanted them to cover.
Yeah. So I was surprised how well Wisconsin did in the beginning. Absolutely. Like it was, I don't know. I knew Ohio was going to win. I thought it was going to be way worse than it was. You know?
Which in turn helped LSU jump back over Ohio State to get back in the number 1 spot.
Absolutely.
Have they played the ACC championship yet?
I don't even know if there was an ACC championship, to be honest.
Is that this weekend?
Okay, well, I don't know if they're even going to have one because it was supposed to be Clemson versus Virginia, and I don't even think that happened, to be honest with you.
I didn't see a score.
Yeah, So what happened in that game?
What had happened was...
Yeah, Clemson freaking destroyed Virginia.
Oh, no, I missed that.
Yeah, because nobody talked about that game at all because it was probably the worst game of the week.
I really feel like Clemson doesn't get any respect.
Clemson shouldn't get any respect. They play in a conference that has nobody playing. Florida State sucks. That's the only other team that's ever been good in the ACC.
Dabo says they're really good.
Dabo is a little bit biased. Obviously, he's the coach for Clemson. But
he's got to talk at their opponents.
Yeah. So listen, here's the thing though.
Okay.
You know, last year they were in the same conference and no one was bitching moaning about Clemson. And if you were, you were saying they're playing in a weak conference, and they came in, they knocked off Notre Dame, I believe, and then they knocked off Alabama. So Clemson, as much as you want to hate them, they're on like a 27-game winning streak or what have you. So it doesn't really matter what you all think. They're going to play Ohio State, and if they beat them or they come very close to beating them, Clemson's legit. I mean, I don't know how you can discredit them.
okay, so
I mean, here's the thing:
they're the reigning national champions. They're undefeated this year. They played the same schedule last year they did this year, essentially in the ACC. And when everyone complained about their lack of schedule last year, they went and whooped up on 2 teams in the top 4 and won a championship.
That's
okay,
true.
Alabama. So.
Here's the difference. So they don't play those teams week in and week out. And if they did play them week in and week out, would there be a difference?
Why were they able to beat Alabama and Notre Dame? I think it was Notre Dame last year. Last year.
Yeah. Well,
that's 2 teams. I'm saying you play like, if they were to play like an SEC schedule, would they still be undefeated at the end?
No,
I understand they can beat SEC schools here and there, every other month type thing. I mean, I get that.
The thing is but in the ACC, you're not going to get hit as hard every single week. You're not going to have as many injuries every single week. And when you're in the SEC or the Big Ten, you're getting beat the crap out of every single week, man.
Every single week, man.
Every week.
It's totally different.
Clemson comes in completely healthy to a playoff berth, completely healthy, probably has no injuries whatsoever. I don't know. And but you know what? Whatever. They are the team that no one wanted to play. When you looked at what was going on Sunday, right? It was no one wants to play Clemson. It's God, we hope we're number 1 so we can play.
I do think that they're going to beat Ohio State.
Yeah. You think they're going to beat Ohio State?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. If Ohio State played like they did last week, then yeah, they would. But if they play like they did the rest of the season, then
I don't know.
I think
really
Clemson's a good football team.
I really want LSU to play Ohio State for the finals because that would be the ultimate comeuppance for Joe Burrows, right?
Okay.
Didn't make it
at
Ohio State.
Yep.
Leaves and goes to LSU.
Oh, that would be great.
So if he could beat them for the national championship, that would be like ultimate,
It'd be kind of like a Jalen Hurts beating Alabama.
Yeah, because I'm kind of rooting for Jalen Hurts. I'm rooting for the underdog in some ways, but I'm actually going. I'm kind of going for LSU just because I really like Joe Burrow, and also I'm an SEC guy, so I want the SEC to.
I don't think win. Oklahoma has a chance against LSU.
I don't think they have they don't have a freaking teardrops chance in hell to win nothing, man. But then again, you doubt them, but Jalen Hurts, I think he has 7 interceptions on the year or something like that, so we'll see. So let's get on with Utah versus Oregon, a game that was played on Friday. I didn't realize it was playing on Friday last year. Chopper's drinking another beer, by the way, just so y'all know. Hey-o.
I got my second beer coming.
You got another round. Damn, I'm on. Okay, that's fine.
Second beer.
So Utah versus Oregon. Everyone thought Utah would win because of the defense. If you guys heard us talking last week on the show.
See, Utah, that was their shot to get in the top 4.
Holy shit! If they would have blew out Oregon, they would have had a fighting chance, right?
You think Utah would have made it over Oklahoma?
At
least there would have been a discussion. We would be talking about it this week.
But the thing is, Oklahoma Baylor went into overtime, so it was a struggle for Oklahoma to beat Baylor. So I think Utah probably, if nothing else changed, and it was everything except for Utah won, I think Utah would have got in as long as they were able to really beat Oregon.
Regardless,
but they would have gotten destroyed.
Regardless of
overall.
the outcome, I think the 4 team is not a legit contender for the national championship. Regardless of who gets number 4.
Yeah, this is the first year that the number 4 team is not the legitimate, is not legitimately possible. It's not legitimate that they could win. I don't.
Which leads to the question: should there be more than just a 2-team
playoff?
playoff?
Snap!
Oh,
man,
snap.
that is the perfect segue into this, right?
Yeah. So, because if the 4 team is not a contender, hey, maybe they need more teams to actually make it a viable playoff system.
Maybe we don't.
Okay, so you want to hear my argument on this? So we have a 4-team playoff, and that's fine. But the thing is no matter what, it's always going to be subjective based upon a group of people deciding who's going to get in. It's not like the NFL where you have divisions and the division winner gets into the playoffs, right?
Right.
It's not like that. So it's always going to be a group of talking heads or people that think they know more than everybody else saying who's the winner, who's the top.
So what if you just had 4, every conference champ gets in?
Every conference champ, like App State?
Right? See that, and therein lies the problem, right? How do you just if it's something other than subjective?
Like
then
wasn't it
SEC will always win?
Memphis, like those are teams that can't. But the
let's take our top 8 teams at the end of the season. What are they?
Top 8 teams.
What are they, Hanger?
So here's what we got. Teams? Ready? We got LSU,
okay,
Ohio, number 2, obviously Clemson, number 3, Oklahoma, number 4. Georgia 11-2 at number 5.
Yeah, giving them another chance to win the national championship.
Okay, they already lost to Ohio or to LSU.
Does the regular season even matter at this point?
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Oregon number 6. They're 11-2 also. So how do you determine if they should be in? Then you got Baylor number 7, 11-2. You got Wisconsin number 8, 10-3. Why shouldn't Florida be in there at 10-2?
Because they're at number 9.
They're
We're
at
only
number 9.
taking the top 8 teams.
But
that's
who's
why.
deciding? It's all subjective at that point. There's no objectivity to this entire scenario. It's a bunch of talking heads deciding who's going to be in.
If you say, hey, you got to be 11-2, then Utah gets in.
Oh, if you want to,
even though they're ranked number 11, but record-wise they're 11-2.
But look at Memphis; they're 12-1, and so is App State. App State's number 20, Memphis is 17. So how do you determine? Notre Dame 10-2.
Right. Okay. Boise State 12-1.
And if we have the argument about 4, and then we go to 8, then we're gonna be having the argument about 16.
That's
and
right.
Then,
it never ends.
Yeah, it never ends. So you might as well just cut it off at 4.
Okay. How about flipping it on the other way?
Okay.
Why not just have no national championship and let everyone who's a conference champ say we're the best?
Yeah, right.
Do you need a national champion?
Yes, you do.
For college. Why?
Yeah.
For the fans, baby. For the fan. My hope and dream every season is that Florida goes undefeated. That's it.
Because winning every conference is not the same. Winning the SEC, it just means more.
But winning the SEC means you won the SEC, but if you win the national championship, it means that you're the best from the SEC. All right, so Snake has a lot to say. I can see it coming.
Snake's been holding back on us.
Snake's been holding back. He's like, man, I just gotta talk.
No, it's just, you expand it to 8, and I get the point behind that in a lot of ways, but also it's more for ratings, and it's more to kind of drum up more of a ratings for big bowls and stuff like that. I mean, there's a significant drop-off. I mean, if you're looking at it right now and you want to go LSU versus Wisconsin, I mean, LSU would probably destroy Wisconsin. So all of a sudden, you're going to have a playoff where in the first round of the playoffs, one team might beat somebody else 45-13. Well, then what is that person? Why should there be a blowout in a playoff? You would like to think that if you're going to have a playoff system, they're all going to be competitive games, not blowouts.
That's true.
And then you're always going to run into, when you bring in the top 8, now all of a sudden you start arguing about Florida, Penn State, Utah. They all have 2 losses. Wisconsin's got a 3rd loss. What about Auburn? Auburn beat Alabama.
What about Notre Dame? They're 10-2 also.
All of a sudden you're muddying the waters with more teams that can claim that they're just as good as that last team that got in. That number 8 team. Now you're also talking about you're going outside of the Power 5 as far as you can't take just the conference champions. You're definitely taking someone from one of those conferences that's came in second, it was the runner-up. Now, who do you choose out of that?
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
is the runner-up in the SEC more worthy than the runner-up in the Big Ten? Why is the runner-up in the Pac-10 not able to get in when the runner-up from the ACC might get in?
That's
and all
true.
of a sudden you're going to have an argument of who's the best second-place team. So it's never going to stop. I mean,
It
if
never
you expand it to
stops.
64 teams, there'll be arguments.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know that there's too many arguments about it in college basketball by any means. What is that, 64, right?
Yep. Well, 68 now because each
Oh, that's right. They have
each
this.
bracket has a plane.
That's right. Yeah. So, and you don't hear a lot of arguments about that. But then again, there
No,
are.
you can't go to 64 teams. I don't think in the NFL.
It would be impossible. You'd have way
There's
too many games.
Too many
Yeah.
games. Too many people getting hurt. And at what point does some of the professional, top tier, first round draft picks
Say,
decide,
"Screw this,
I don't
I'm
wanna-
not playing"?
Yeah, I don't want to play again.
Didn't that happen?
4-game playoff.
Yeah, didn't that happen in a 4-game playoff a couple of years ago, where a couple players from I don't remember which team it was,
I
but
don't
they
know.
decided
I
not to
know
play.
a lot of people sit at the balls. I mean, I went to the Belk Bowl last year, Virginia versus South Carolina, and Debo, arguably the best player on the South Carolina defense, he didn't play.
Yep.
It's a letdown. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean,
think a
would
lot of
you?
people don't play. No, I wouldn't.
Would
but I
you
mean,
play?
No, probably not. I mean, not if I'm looking at.
No, if I'm looking at $1 million
first
yeah.
round money, of course not.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at $1 million contract,
But
I'm not playing.
would I play in the Belk Bowl? No. Would I probably play in the Orange Bowl or the Sugar Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl or?
I think
or
you
College?
have to, yeah.
I think you should. And then all of a sudden you're bailing out on your teammates, you're bailing out on your program. I mean, it gets very muddy.
It does get muddy. I mean, I would if it was a national championship game or the playoffs, maybe. But I mean, you're looking at millions of dollars lost if you get. A dislocated hip. Look at Tua. He's going into the draft this year possibly with the potential of having a dislocated hip that he might not ever return from. The poor kid. You got to feel sorry for someone like that.
Yeah,
And-
does he go to the
So
NFL next year?
what point in college football in your last year, whether you be a junior that's coming out early or you're a senior, at what point do you say, this is the amount of games I need to play
Yeah.
to increase my stock to the highest
Yeah.
it can be, and then every game after that, I'm doing nothing but risking.
Risking, yeah.
And if you put him in a 2-game playoff, 14 2-game playoff, you're going to have a lot better chance of the number one top players wanting to play 2 games. If you move it to 8 or 16, and
Okay.
they're playing 3 or 4 games, I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
now they're going to start saying, I'm not really sure I want to play.
Yeah.
Are you going to have people sitting out the first round? If it's 16 games and you have LSU playing Iowa, is
Yeah.
everyone going to play hard? Is everyone going to play 100% against a team that they think they can beat if they're going 75%?
Is Joe Burrow really going to get out there and get out there and play? I wouldn't do it. So it's probably better in that case to just keep it minimum. And that's the big controversy is you don't want the guys playing too many games. That's what they always talk about. How are you going to have all of December being playoffs and then LSU ends up playing 6 games throughout December?
And where are these? Yeah, and so you schedule more games for a playoff, and I heard this morning, and it kind of made sense. Where are these games scheduled? So these games scheduled at some NFL stadium somewhere where it's, Clemson versus I don't know, Utah.
It's a blowout, absolute blowout.
In Charlotte or something, and are people going to go see that?
Yeah, if it makes money, it makes.
No?
Yeah, but I don't know if they will. I don't know if they
man.
will.
I don't
Yeah.
know that they will,
Throughout
man.
December, there's a lot
That's a
going
good
on.
point too, right?
Yeah.
You have fans that go to these games. Like I'm not going to see Clemson play Utah in Charlotte even though we're having 15
You're not gonna go to
if
that.
I'm a Clemson fan, am I going to go to the first round of playoffs, the second round of playoffs, the third round of playoffs?
No,
the
you're going to
final?
go to 1 or
No.
2.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
And so I've thought about that before when Auburn was a contender for the national championship. I was like, do I want to pay money to go to the SEC championship? And I said no, because I think we're going to win the SEC championship. I'm going to buy tickets to the national championship.
Okay.
I'm not going to the SEC championship.
Yeah.
And if you water it down even further with more games, Are people going to actually go to those games?
And
I
again, it goes
doubt
back to
that,
like,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
why do you want to expand it? Are you really trying to give quality teams that feel like they can play with the number one or new team and maybe win? Or are you just trying to do it for ratings and more revenue and more TV time and more of a business sense?
I think it's just to give a little more fairness.
Well, but that's why I get back to just keeping it at 4 because it's subjective either way. If you're gonna do 8, then everyone's gonna argue that you should do 16, and then the argument is you should do 32.
I think 4
or you
is,
should do 20.
I think 4 is
you
the
know?
right number, and I think they're pretty close to getting the top 4 teams. You know, I mean,
and this year they
may
did.
be off a little bit sometimes, but
No, but
for the most
Oklahoma,
part, they get the
yeah.
top 4 teams.
Obviously, LSU, Ohio, and Clemson should be in.
It's not
Those
that
are the
big of an
top 3
argument this
teams,
year, I think.
obviously.
It's not that
Now,
big of an
who's the
argument
4th
this year.
team? I think you got to go with somebody. Now, do I think the 4th team makes a run? No.
But
Regardless of who it is.
Oklahoma deserves to be in by winning the Big 12. You
Right,
can't.
so you have
can't
3
argue
undefeated
that.
teams and you
you
have
have
It'd be nice to
a
see
one-loss
Jalen
team.
beat Alabama.
Yeah. Like
It gets muddy
Oklahoma's a
when everybody
good,
has one loss, and all of a sudden a one-loss, SEC team is not making it next to a one-loss Big Ten team or Pac-12 team or something like that.
And
Or
let's
independent.
and let's be honest. Ohio, Clemson, pretty well matched up. It'll probably be a good game. LSU, Oklahoma. I think LSU will blow out Oklahoma most likely, but that's just I'm just assuming that. But then when you get down to the final, it'll be LSU versus Clemson or LSU versus Ohio. That'll be a damn good game for sure.
Great game.
Great game. And it'll be good football, man. It'll
It's
be
been good talking to you. I got to roll out. I got to get my daughter. She's got to be picked up from volleyball. I do want to say one thing. Yankees, Garrett Cole, 9 years, $324 million. That's $36 million a year. That's an obscene amount of money for a pitcher. It's a really obscene amount of money for anything. I figured out it comes out to be a little bit over $1.1 million a start. If he goes 6.5 innings, that's $156,000 a start. That's about it's $156,000 an inning, which is about $50,000 an out. It's outrageous. I'm a Yankee fan. If I had to put $1,000 on who I think is going to win the World Series next year, absolutely the Yankees. But $36 million for a pitcher, outrageous. I don't
Is
know
that the
how-
highest
All right,
paid
so-
ever or
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
So
9
Snake-
years, $4 million. Yeah.
Snake,
Okay,
I
wow,
got
that's
some
insane.
homework for you to do between now and next week. If he drops a $100 bill on the ground, is it worth his time to pick it up?
I wouldn't pick it up.
I would pick it
that
up.
guy's probably wiping his ass with $100 bills right now.
He uses it for firewood, man. He definitely uses it for firewood.
See you next week.
Hey, nice to see you,
Always a
man.
pleasure,
Thanks for
Snake.
coming out, Snake. Yep.
Great talking with
Make
Snake.
sure you pay your tab because we don't have a budget yet. So,
I think you need this Santa motorcycle. Huh?
Whoa,
whoa, that is
check
great.
that out.
Okay. So, last point that we're going to talk about, because I think we're going a little long, okay, is going to be the Heisman Trophy.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what's going on, y'all. If you haven't listened to it yet, you probably know. There's been 4 invites to the Heisman Trophy ceremony next week. Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, Chase Young, and Jalen Hurts, right? I think we could all say in unison who's going to win the Heisman Trophy. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Joe Burrow.
Bo Jackson. Oh, I thought you said the greatest Heisman
So,
Trophy
you know what?
winner of all time.
Okay.
So it'll be whoever wins LSU. If LSU beats Ohio State, or if Ohio State beats LSU for the national championship, it'll be that quarterback.
No, Heisman will be before that game.
No, Heisman's next week. Heisman voting is next week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, hey,
yeah, it's done.
I'll go ahead and
Done.
cut that part out of the
Heisman's next
show,
week.
okay, man?
Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about with the Heisman.
Details.
Crazy went a little bit nuts. He went whoa, crazy, baby.
Or what I'm saying is,
Okay,
perhaps
go ahead.
that will be the tea leaves. Whoever they vote for, that's
will
who's going
win
to
the
win.
national championship.
That's who's gonna win.
But does Joe Burrow even play
Oh,
if he wins the Heisman?
you think he'd stop?
No, he'll play. He'll play.
He'll play.
You know why? That dude I respect him. When he talks, he's like, I'll go anywhere. You can put me in a dirt field somewhere. I'll play and
throw
we'll win.
footballs.
Yeah, I can throw footballs, exactly. Like, I respect someone like that. He has that Tebow attitude, you know?
Yeah.
Just, I'm going out there to frickin' win.
Yeah.
And he's probably just as, I don't know if he's just as good as Tebow. I think Tebow's the best college football player ever. But That's just my opinion because I'm a Gator fan, and a lot of people agree with me on that, even people that are not Gator fans.
He's pretty good.
But anyway,
He's no Bo Jackson though.
so no one thinks that Chase Young should get it, I think he had 16 sacks in the season, the most sacks of any player in college football. Chase Young, Ohio State's defensive end.
You know, it's really hard for defense to get the Heisman.
It is freaking impossible.
I mean,
for a
when was
defense.
the last time? I mean,
It's mostly quarterbacks.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Charles Woodson,
Our
Michigan.
bartender probably has an opinion on this, but he doesn't want to talk.
The year Peyton Manning should have won.
Charles Woodson, yeah.
Peyton
Okay.
Manning should have won in '97.
He totally should have won in '97. Who won it in '97
Charles
instead?
Woodson,
Okay.
last defensive player to win from Michigan. Don't say that too loud because
Oh, yeah.
our bar owner is a big Michigan fan.
Michigan fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bar owner, MJ himself, will say, actually MJ is the name of the first initials of his kids' names or something like that?
Yeah, Michael and Jessica.
Oh, don't say that too loud.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa. But anyway, MJ himself, he's from Michigan, so he's a Michigan fan.
Yeah.
Which-
Woodson 97 was the last time defensive person.
Is that is that crazy?
Thanks
or
for
what,
looking
man?
that up. I told you that 10 minutes
Okay.
ago.
Well, you
So-
said who it was. I found the
But-
year. I want to know how long
I
it
said
was.
the year too.
Just so
Did you? I
y'all
didn't hear that.
listen,
Yeah.
crazy. We have a office in the back that is designed to look up stuff for us. Okay, it'll just appear on your screen in front of you, bro. Don't you know we have a budget around here?
If we only had a smartphone.
If we only had a smartphone. All right, so Jalen Hurts. Why shouldn't Jalen Hurts be Heisman Trophy winner? Because Joe Burrow's just better, right?
I don't know. Is Joe Burrow better or is his team better?
I think his team's better.
Ooh.
Because last year he was not that good, and the year before that he was not that
Interesting.
good.
Interesting.
I think he has an offensive line, and he has some receivers that can go up and catch the ball with like their pinky.
If
To
you
be
have
honest with you.
which begs, if you have an Alabama front line and you're a running back,
You can run
how many
major
running
yards.
backs from different teams would win Heisman Trophy? Would win the Heisman Trophy running the ball through Alabama's offensive line?
I don't know. You tell me, because you're like the expert on this stuff.
I
I'm
don't
sure.
know. Alabama's offensive line is bad. They're good.
Yeah. So, Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State, right? I got the stats right here. Joe Burrow, 48 touchdowns. Justin
He had a
Fields,
great year and deserves it.
Yeah.
Okay.
First in college football for touchdowns. I mean, that says enough right there.
Yeah.
48. Justin Fields was number 3. He had 40, I think it was. I didn't put down the numbers. But Justin Fields only had 1 interception the entire season. Is that consistency or what? That's what I thought. But
Is the Heisman Trophy the best player or the best player on the best team?
I don't know. I think it's the best player.
Do you think he's better than every single player in college football? I'm going to say
Okay,
probably
Joe
not.
Burrow-
Probably not.
I mean, if you're
Probably
saying
not.
the best player, not necessarily the best team, then you might have to go.
But
with
but hold on. You can have the best player. I think.
Yeah.
I think to be
I mean,
honest with you,
he's already won national championships.
Yeah,
on a different team.
Boom.
But
Boom.
I think the best quarterback.
Was he the best player on the best team then, though?
But the best quarterback in the
Right?
number
So
one.
I'm going to go with. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. The number one quarterback in the country is on some like the number one quarterback for consistency. He has the most yards and all that crap. I think is on like a second-rate team. So it's not the best player on the best team or the best player. It is technically the best player on the best team in some ways as well. Ohio State, top 4 team. Joe Burrow, LSU, top 4 team, right? And then you have Jalen Hurts, top 4 team on Oklahoma. So definitely
Is
it's
it the best player on the best team?
yeah. But the best team makes it
But
so
they
you
should
get those
just say
numbers
that
too.
then. Right?
Say what?
They should just say that.
Best
Who's
player
the
on
best
the best
player
team.
on the best team.
But it's the best player overall too.
I don't know about that.
Okay, Joe Burrow's gonna win the Heisman.
You don't think there's anybody better in all of college football than Joe Burrow?
Who? Okay, who?
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know, but I'm sure we can find somebody.
His quarterback rating is number 2 in college football. So who's number 1? It's some guy from a second-rate team. I think it's
It might be, but that guy is just forgotten.
He's completely forgotten. He'll probably get drafted and freaking dominate in the NFL, though. For sure. But we'll see. Whoever it is, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. And our freaking team in the back is not looking it up for us, which is driving me crazy. Get on this, guys.
Come on, guys.
Look it up.
Hey, so the team just posted something to my screen. Hey,
Okay.
Thank
you.
The Heisman Trophy winner with the greatest winning vote percentage from all the Heisman voters. Guess who that is? Currently, until Joe Burrow wins it. The greatest winning vote Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
Orenthal James Simpson.
Who the hell is that?
OJ.
Oh, O.J. Simpson.
OJ.
No shit.
So,
wow. Sorry,
You're
that's the first
confusing
curse
with the
word of the day.
Orenthal.
O.J. Simpson. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orenthal Jameson.
So depending
James.
Orenthal James.
Okay.
Jameson.
So depending on how many people vote for Burrow, he might just take OJ out of the record
most-
books.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would be a good thing if you think he killed his wife, and a bad thing if you think he didn't. So. I mean, hey, whatever. Do you think he killed his wife?
Oh, that goes far, far beyond the
Man.
scope of Guys at the Bar Talking Sports.
This is Guys at the Bar Talking O.J. Simpson
Guys
for
at
the
the
next
Bar
5 minutes.
Talking
Okay,
Law.
go.
White Broncos.
Do you think he
Hey,
killed
the
his
gloves
wife?
did not fit. You must
The
have quit.
glove
I
did not
don't
fit.
know,
You
man.
must have quit. I'll
takes
go
me
with that one,
way
man. I
back.
think that is. I don't know.
You know, I would have thought that until that book came out.
Until he
if
wrote
I
a book.
would have done it.
If I would have done it, yeah. Then you're like, oh shit, he did it. You know, that's true.
Are you good? Coming?
All right, so this is Guys at the Bar Talking O.J. Guys at the Bar Talking Sports, and we're gonna go ahead and sign out for the evening because we've gone beyond our normal extension. But if you like the show, this is what you gotta do. Listen closely, okay? You have to subscribe to the show, and then you have to give us a 5-star rating and review because you really think that Hanger and Crazy and Chopper are freaking badass, okay?
Forgot my name again.
We'll be back this Saturday, Army Navy.
Oh, Army Navy. We didn't even talk about that yet.
No,
All right.
we'll have to post.
Hoo-ah!
Podcast number 2 of the week is going to have to be Army Navy.
All right, who wins?
Results.
Hold on, real
Results.
fast. Who
Results.
wins?
I will always vote Army. I don't care what the records are. I don't care how the
You're
teams are.
biased.
Army will win this.
Bias. You're biased.
I'm going Army.
Hey, let's go out and play Navy, said no kid ever.
You Hey, I heard earlier you looked kind of nautical.
All right. So just so you know, Crazy, he is a general in the U.S. Army. So he's kind of biased, you know? 5-star general, you know? We get to hang out with him every other week or so. But anyway, guys, appreciate you listening to us. 5-star rating and review. If you're listening and you like it, do it. And if you don't, then we'll be coming after you. Sign us off, Hanger.
Hello.
I know what you're thinking. Man, that was an amazing show. You know what you do then? You subscribe to the show. By subscribing, you'll be able to hear the show next week and every show that we come out with from here on out. And then if you really like the show, the thing that you can do is you give it a 5-star rating and review. Whatever podcast you listen to, see if you can give it a 5-star rating and review. I know you can do it on Apple iTunes. And then you know what you do? You come on back next week to hear Guys at the Bar Talking Sports.